Everything I do is for the betterment of my girls. Don't you know that? Don't you trust me?
That's a look at the film Fresh Kills, a mafia-themed story set in the late 80s that explores the women behind the Larusso Mafia family.
All right, for more, we are joined by Jennifer Esposito, who not only stars in the film, but wrote, produced, and directed it. Jennifer, good morning, and nice to have you with us here in the morning show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. I'm exhausted for you.
Yeah. I'm exhausted, believe me. Wrote, directed,
this
produced
film is,
all of it.
Yeah, quite a ride, quite a ride. And let's start with the fact that this is not a typical mafia film, because this one centers on the women. Tell us about the inspiration behind that.
Exactly. It's the first time we're seeing the female point of view in this way. The background is I grew up around seeing some of this, and the young women around me were just they had a lot of rage, and I figured, I guess it's from their family. And as I got out into the world and got out into the business, the rage started to seem familiar to me, and I thought, oh, I see what it is. It wasn't about their families, it was about choice. It was about they didn't have a choice in what they were born into. And I think that's why the movie is resonating so much with people, because it's about the boxes that we're put into, and anybody understands that. So yes, it takes place in a mafia world, but it's really about finding a voice in a world that tells you not to have one.
And all of you, the women, they tapped into that rage. Yeah. Was it hard to do, or did you find it fairly easy for the women to find that? First the casting. Emily Bader, who's now My Lady Jane, and Odessa Azion, fantastic actresses. It was in the casting. I would say to the casting director, like, you cannot act this kind of thing. You really needed to understand. So the first was really casting people who understood what was happening with these women. So for that reason, it was easy once you cast it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, you also self-financed this film.
I did.
As a matter of fact, we hear that you put your house up.
I did.
So that obviously speaks to how much you believed in this film and the story.
Exactly, exactly. Everybody says, you shouldn't have done that. I said, well, were you going to give me the money? No? Okay, well, then I had to do it. No, I was tired of hearing myself complain about the quality of things I was seeing for females. I was tired of seeing, the same old thing, and the superhero movies are all great, but I wanted a story that centered around family and really told a really an unsaid story of these women that we don't see in The Godfather, Sopranos. We just don't really see what's going on when the men leave. And I felt responsible to tell the story, so you have to bet on yourself sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do. It's bold, but it's admirable. Now, you wore so many hats, as we mentioned. This was also, yes, we mentioned you directed this as well, but it was your directorial debut.
Yes.
Of all the hats you wore, which was the hardest to wear?
The business. The business of it. I always say this when people ask. The directing was wonderful. I mean, I've been on sets for 20-something years now, so the directing was wonderful. The writing was challenging but beautiful. Being on set, acting, directing myself, it's all challenging but beautiful because it's art. It's the getting the movie out and getting it to people. And, I was offered a lot of money to step aside for a male director to come on, and things like that. That was hard to take. That was hard to take. So it was the business stuff that was really the hardest side of the hardest hat to wear. Yeah.
Having said that and knowing that, just how empowering is this film for you, and to see its success and the reaction that it's getting?
I tell you, listen, it's still a challenge. Marketing budgets now are insane, and we just don't have that. We're a smaller film, so power of social media, I have to say. But what is really rewarding is the people, men and women, loving this film so deeply, like really hitting a nerve with people about things in their own life or their own family. That's been magical, I have to say, and offering up, help to get it out there, marketing, free marketing, or come on my podcast. It's been really
amazing because I think people are craving real story, and that's what this is.
You mentioned the years you've been in the biz.
Yeah.
Can you believe, we were all talking about this before the interview, but can you believe it's been 25 years since Summer of Sam?
Oh my God, has it? I was 12. I was 12. No, I can't even believe it. That was one of my first films. It was amazing. It has a very similar vibe, a very New York story, so it seems appropriate. Yeah.
All right, well, you can watch Fresh Kills on Apple TV Plus and Amazon Prime. Jennifer, great to catch up with you, and thanks for coming by.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.